Okay, good morning, all of you. Welcome to Laksha Academy YouTube channel. This is the part two of human excretory system. Earlier, you learned, as I told you in previous video, you learned excretory system of earthworm, excretory system of cockroach, excretory system of and frog. Excretory system is not there in our present. It is not there in cockroach. Is not there in our syllabus. Okay, this is the part two of excretory system. That means excretory products and their elimination. Okay, excretion, as I told you in the previous part, removal of nitrogenous waste material in the body, not only nitrogenous waste material, other metabolic waste materials like carbon dioxide and other ions from our body. Osmoregulation, maintenance of water and salt balance is called osmoregulation. What is meant by osmoregulation? Maintenance of water and salt balance. Maintenance of water and salt balance is called as osmoregulation. The next one is homeostasis. These are very important terms. Okay, homeostasis is the maintenance of balanced internal environment. Balanced internal environment achieved by excretion. Okay, homeostasis is the maintenance of balanced internal environment achieved by excretion and osmoregulation. Homeostasis means steady state, balanced condition in the body. Okay, that means to maintain water balance, salt balance, okay, everything in our body. You learned in first year also. Okay, as I told you in the previous part, excess proteins in our bodies, excess carbohydrates can be stored. But in our body, excess fats are also stored. But our excess proteins cannot be stored in our body. Okay, in our body, excess carbohydrates are stored in the form of glycogen. In our body, excess fats are also stored in the adipose tissue. But our body cannot store proteins. Okay, that's why the proteins are broken down to amino acids, and these amino acids from the amino group is removed. From the amino group is removed. This is called deamination. From the amino acid means it is a compound which consists of amino group. From the amino acid, what is removed? Amino group is removed. To this amino group, what is added? NH hydrogen is added, hydrogen atom. Therefore, it becomes ammonia, NH3. Some animals directly excrete ammonia. Those animals are, can you tell me that? Monotelic animals. Some animals, as they cannot afford to lose water, especially terrestrial animal, okay, they convert ammonia into urea. Okay, they excrete urea. Those animals are called. Can you tell me what is that? Ureotelic, not uricotelic. And some animals convert ammonia into uric acid. Such animals are called. Can you tell me that? Uricotelic animals. Modes of excretion. Animals cannot eliminate free nitrogen. Very important point. Animals cannot eliminate free nitrogen. That means animals cannot eliminate nitrogen cannot be nitrogen cannot be eliminated from the body. Free nitrogen cannot be eliminated. Animals cannot eliminate free nitrogen. Free nitrogen. Nitrogen eliminate failure. But they can eliminate in the form of nitrogenous waste material, nitrogenous end product. They can eliminate nitrogen in the form of urea, in the form of uric acid, and in the form of ammonia. But they cannot excrete in the free elemental form. That is important point. Animals cannot eliminate free nitrogen, but they can eliminate nitrogen in the form of urea, uric acid, and ammonia. The metabolism of excess amino acids, as I told in the previous part, excess in our body, excess amino acids, amino group, and excess amino acids and nitrogen bases of nucleic acid. Nucleic acids, I told you. Can you tell me what are the nucleic acids? Everyone, can you tell? DNA and RNA. In the DNA and RNA, you might have learned in botany. There are purines, pyrimidines. Okay, nitrogen bases are adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. Okay, when they are broken down, because of metabolism of these nitrogen bases of nucleic acid, what is produced? Ammonia. Ammonia is produced because of metabolism of excess amino acid, and also by the nitrogen basis of nucleic acid. What is produced here? Ammonia. From which? From which? That means from ammonia. What are from urea or ammonia? From ammonia, urea or uric acid, depending upon the need, depending on the what requirement of the animal. First, let us talk about ammonotalism. The elimination of ammonia as the chief nitrogenous waste mineral is called as the elimination of, this is the definition, ammonotalism. Elimination of ammonia as chief nitrogenous waste material is termed as ammonotalism. Next one, elimination of uric acid as the chief nitrogenous waste mineral is called uricotalism. Next one, elimination of elimination of urea as the principal nitrogenous waste material is called ureotelism. That is the definition. Elimination of ammonia as a chief nitrogenous waste material is called ammonotelism. Elimination of urea as a chief nitrogenous waste material is called ureotelism. Elimination of uric acid as a chief nitrogenous waste material is called as a uricotelism. Those are the definitions for those three: ureotelism, ammonotelism. Ammonia is formed by deoxidative deamination of amino acid. Okay, ammonia is formed by the oxidative deamination of amino acid. I told you in the ammonia is formed from the oxidative what happened here? Oxidative deamination of amino acid. That means from the amino acid, amino group is removed. From that, what is found? Ammonia is formed. Deamination chiefly occurs in the liver of vertebrates. Very important point. Where does the deamination process take place? The deamination process takes place in the liver of vertebrate body. The amino group separated from the amino acid combines with okay, I am writing here amino group NH2. NH2. There is a amino acid here. Amino acid. From the amino acid, what is removed? Amino group. The amino group separated from the amino acid. What is here? Amino acid. What is separate? Amino group combines with. It combines with hydrogen. This is NH2. NH2 combined with hydrogen and becomes NH3 and becomes NH ammonia. Ammonia is highly toxic and readily soluble in water, hence it should be eliminated from the body quickly. Okay, it has to be eliminated from the body quickly and in the form of very dilute solution. In the form of very dilute. I will show you now one table. Note down this table. This table is very, 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 very important. And this evening, I will tell you one video regarding bits from this one. Okay, this is the first one is the toxicity. Toxicity. This is the toxicity. 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 Okay, which is the mostly toxic? Highly toxic. Ammonia is highly toxic, which is 1 lakh times less toxic than ammonium. Okay, it is 1 lakh times, 1 lakh times, 1 lakh times less toxic than ammonia. and this is the less toxic than urea. That means what is the least toxic nitrogenous waste material is uric acid. Okay, that is about comparison about their toxicity. Now let us compare their solubility. Okay, as I showed you here, ammonia is here. I told you here. Okay, it should be ammonia is highly toxic and readily soluble in water. Readily soluble in water. Readily soluble in water. And here solubility, highly soluble, moderately soluble, insoluble. Okay, what is the highly soluble among these three? Among ammonia. Okay, here I am comparing ammonia, urea, uric acid. Animals which excrete ammonia are called ammonotelics, which excrete urea are called uric, which excrete uric acid are called urico. Here C is important. Uricotelic, urio, ureotelic, here uricotelic. See here, see here, and here also see. Next, water. Okay, for the elimination of ammonia, large amount of water is important. Okay, only aquatic animals can afford to lose large amount of water. And here, moderate amount of water. Moderate amount of water is required. Here, very less amount of water is required for the elimination of uric acid. Okay, this is about water requirement. Here, large amount of water is required, moderate amount of water is required. Here, very less amount of water is required here. Next one, it is highly soluble, and this is moderately soluble, and this is insoluble. Energy required. Okay, for the synthesis of ammonia, no energy is required, and here for the synthesis of urea, moderate amount of energy. That means less amount of energy is required, and for the synthesis of uric acid, for the synthesis of uric acid. Okay, for the synthesis of uric acid here, large amount of energy is required. With large arrow here, smaller arrow, and this is no energy is required here. Next, where is the place of synthesis? Very important one is this one. Ammonia is formed in the liver, and urea is generally when we ask this bit, you say kidney. Urea is eliminated by the kidney, but urea is formed in the liver by ornithine cycle. You learned in first lesson liver functions. And uric acid is very important. You learned in first year cockroach malfusion tubule. In malfusion, uric acid is formed in the tracheids. Means trachea. What are the tracheids? Chilopoda, diplopoda, hexapoda. Those are called tracheids. I told you in the previous video. In those animals, uric acid is formed in malfusion tubule, which open into the hind gut. You learned many malfusion opening into the gut. And sauropsis. Can you guess what we call sauropsis means? ఎవరెవరు sauropsis చెప్పగలరా? Sauropsis అంటే ఇద్దరు. Okay, birds and reptiles together called వాటిల్లో in those animals uric acid is formed in the liver. Okay, up to here it is completed very dilute. Therefore, excretion of ammonia is the most common in aquatic water. Many lower invertebrates expel ammonia. Many lower invertebrates like Hydra and Poriferan expel ammonia through their whole body surface by simple diffusion. Okay, they excrete through simple diffusion. And in bony fishes, most of the ammonia is lost as a ammonium ion across the epithelium of very bony fishes. In bony, to take one bony fish, here there are gills. Okay, most of the ammonia is excreted in the form of ammonium ions, not NH3. Okay, through the gills. In bony fishes, most of the bony fishes example. Can you tell me what are the examples for bony fishes? Katla, labio, rohita. Okay, those all are example. Exocetus, camphor. These all are bony fishes. Most of the ammonia is lost as ammonium ions across through the epithelium of the through the epithelium of the. This is the operculum. Operculum. Operculum is present in bony fishes. Okay, operculum covers these gills. Okay, now they remove that this operculum. Therefore, you can see the gills here. This is the operculum. Okay, cross next with the kidneys here. Okay, very important. Kidneys excreting only minor amount of nitrogenous waste material. The animals which excrete ammonia are called ammonotelic animals. That's about ammonotelism. Now come to the. Okay, I will tell you about uricotelism. The elimination of uric acid as the chief nitrogenous waste material is called uricotelism. Elimination of uric acid. Elimination of uric acid, I told you the definition. Uric acid is mainly formed from ammonia, mostly in the liver of sauropsids. I told you in the table. Okay, this is observe here. Liver of sauropsids. What is this one? Uric acid. Okay, uric acid is mainly formed from the ammonia. Ammonia. Okay, uric acid is the ammonia. I am taking ammonia here. From the ammonia, what is formed? Uric acid is formed. Where is it formed? In the liver of birds. In the liver of birds and reptile. Whereas in cockroach, it is formed in Malphizian tubules. It is formed in Malphizian tubules and tracheates. Tracheate arthropods means Chilopoda, Diplopoda, Hexapoda, six-leggers, hundred-legger, thousand-legger, six-leggers, hundred-legger, thousand-leggers. Okay, right. Next point. See the next point. Uric acid is less. Uric acid is less toxic than urea. Uric acid is less toxic than urea, being insoluble and can be excreted as semi-solid paste or pellets. Paste or pellets with very little water loss. This is a great advantage for animals with little access to water. Okay, which have little access me availability to of water. Tracheate arthropods, that means Chilopoda, Diplopoda, Hexapoda, hundred-legger, thousand-legger, six-leggers, and land snail, and many reptiles. Yesterday I asked you one bit from this one terrestrial snail, terrestrial mollusk, and land snail. Many reptiles and birds excrete uric acid. They are the chief nitrogenous waste, hence they are called uricotelic animals. Okay, next one. Here comes the last one. Uriotelism. Terrestrial adaptation necessitated the animals first evolved in water, aquatic. Then they came onto the land, terrestrial. When the animals came onto the land from terrestrial adaptation, earlier they adapted in water, now they have to adapt it to the land. Terrestrial adaptation necessitated the production of lesser, lesser toxic nitrogenous waste materials such as urea and uric acid. I told you urea is less toxic, 1 lakh times less toxic than ammonia. For the why they are excreting urea and uric acid, why not ammonia? For the conservation, as they are in the land. Okay, what much water is not available. The elimination of urea as the principal nitrogenous waste metal is called as ureotelism. It is produced in the vertebrate liver by metabolic cycle called ornithine cycle. Yesterday I asked you one bit from this one. that combines with that combines with ammonia with carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide. So one bit yesterday asked ammonia, ammonia NH3 combined with CO2 and to form urea, which occurs in this cycle is called ornithine cycle, urea cycle, ornithine cycle, urea cycle, or Krebs Hanselite cycle, which takes place in the liver. Okay, the circulatory system transports the urea. Okay, urea is formed in the liver. From the liver, it goes to kidneys through the circulatory system, transporting to the kidneys for the filtration and elimination. Kidneys filter and eliminate it. Urea is 1 lakh times less toxic than ammonia. This permits some animals to transport and store. Some animals transport and store urea safely at higher concentration. That is called physiological uremia, as seen in cartilaginous species. You learned in first year also in the water adaptation. Thus, urea excreting animals require much less water than ammoniac animals. Some amount of urea may be retained in the medullary fluid of our kidney to maintain desired osmolarity. I will tell you details about this one. Okay, first you can observe here. This is the inner part of our kidney. Okay, that means medulla. Okay, this is the outer part medulla, cortex. This is all the part of the kidney. In the kidney, this is one nephron. In the nephron, you can observe here, urea is stored here to maintain desired as some amount of urea may be retained in the medullary fluid of the kidney to maintain desired osmolarity. Earthworms examples. Earthworms, cartilaginous species, you learned yesterday. Most of the amphibians which spend most of the time on land and mammals excrete urea as a chief nitrogenous waste material. You learned yesterday these all examples in the part one previous first video. Okay, that's about this video. Okay, we learned here ammonotelism, ureotelism, and uricotelism, and we did a comparative study of these ammonia, urea, and uric acid, and learn this table, practice this table